Hello, my name is Aaron Topance, and in this playing card cipher video, we're going to talk about the Chaocipher. The Chaocipher is actually a mechanical wheel cipher that was invented in 1918 by American John F. Byrne Sr. He was looking for a mechanical encryption algorithm that he could sell to the United States military, to the Navy, and to the other armed forces. Unfortunately, because of a decision to keep his algorithm secret, he never found success in selling his algorithm to the Navy. The Navy made repeated requests for him to publish the algorithm so they could study it and analyze it, and he refused to do so, feeling that he would be giving away his intellectual property. In 1953, he published an autobiography called The Silent Years, in which he talks about his life, but he also introduces the Chaocipher to the world. In the autobiography, he still does not introduce the algorithm to encrypting and decrypting text, but he did provide a number of challenges with ciphertext and plain text for you to try and break the algorithm. And he offered a financial reward for anyone who was successful. John F. Byrne died, never seeing his algorithm successfully implemented in any commercial or government project. His son, John F. Byrne Jr., continued to try and sell and monetize the algorithm, and also faced the same problems that his father had. Ultimately, John F. Byrne Jr. also passes away, and his wife, in 2010, finally donated all the Chaocipher artifacts and exhibits to the National Cryptography Museum. And it was during this donation that the algorithm to the Chaocipher was finally revealed. The Chaocipher has seen a lot of cryptanalysis, mostly led by cryptographer Moshe Rubin. He runs the website Chaocipher.com, the Chaocipher Clearinghouse. And he and a number of other analysts and mathematicians have published a number of documents analyzing the Chaocipher, finding patterns in the ciphered text, and so forth. To date, Moshe is confident that the Chaocipher algorithm, although maybe not a government's top choice for their their only one and only encryption algorithm, it does remain secure as a strong hand cipher. The Chaocipher was designed around two alphabets that were placed on wheels. So the alphabet was placed in a circular pattern. John Byrne described the algorithm with his circle, and he talks about using something called the zenith of the circle and the nadir of the circle. The zenith of a circle, of course, is if you were to mark a point as the top of the circle would be the zenith, and the nadir is the opposite of that circle following the diameter, the line intersecting the circle exactly in half. We can see on this diagram that we have other directions, north, south, east, and west, also describing four other points on a three-dimensional sphere. But in our case, we'll just worry about a two-dimensional circle and talk about the zenith and the nadir. So if the alphabet started at A at the zenith and worked its way alphabetically in order, the nadir at that point would be the letter N for November, because it's the 14th letter of the alphabet, and then it would work its way to Z, back up towards the zenith, where we would reach A again. The Chaocipher describes right and left alphabets. so you would have 52 letters, two pairs of, or a pair of 26 letters each, and you'd have a set of 26 characters in the right alphabet circle, or the right alphabet wheel, and then 26 characters in the left alphabet wheel, both of them having a zenith and a nadir on that circle. Because we are doing playing cards, we're going to mimic those circles using playing cards. So we're going to talk about how to set up playing cards for the Chaocipher algorithm, and we'll also introduce the nadir and zenith into the cycle of cards. So here I have already shuffled a deck of cards into a random shuffling. I did 12 or 13 shuffles in this deck. And then I went ahead and keyed a second deck that matches that same shuffle. If you've watched my video about the card chameleon algorithm, or Pocket RC4, where the deck requires a little bit of setup to be keyed, the Chaocipher follows a similar setup in order to get it keyed. So if I'm going to assume that this shuffle is the shuffle I want for my keyed deck, I need to go ahead and create my right and left alphabets. This is going to be done by creating a black pile of cards and a red pile of cards. There are 26 black cards and 26 red cards. We are ignoring the jokers. So this is perfectly set up to assign one character to each card in both the black and the red stacks. So we're going to go ahead and create these stacks, and like the card chameleon algorithm and the Pocket RC4 algorithm, we need to do this deterministically with zero ambiguity. That means we're going to create my right and left piles one card at a time. My red pile will make up my left pile. This will be my ciphertext pile. And my right pile will be my black pile. This will make up my plaintext pile. So we're going to create these piles one card at a time. So again, we're not going to grab a bulk of cards and set them down. We're going to place them down exactly one card at a time for zero ambiguity. Again, with the red pile on the left and the black pile on the right. So we'll go ahead and get this set up. Okay, I now have my left pile, or my ciphertext pile. This will be my left alphabet. And then I have my right alphabet, or my right plaintext pile, my black pile. We're going to leave these two piles separate. In Card Chameleon and Pocket RC4, we recombined these piles. We're not going to do that here. We're going to leave these piles separate. The Chaocipher with playing cards, this is a playing card implementation of the Chaocipher algorithm, does require table space. Some playing card ciphers can be operated strictly in your hands. This is not one of them. So now that I have my two piles, we need to make some character assignments. So if I were to look at this table, I can see that for the hearts and the spades suits, I'm going to assign ace through king the values A or alpha through M or Mike respectively. Okay, so the 6 of hearts would be F as in foxtrot. The 10 of spades would be J as in Juliet. And then we'll do the same with the clubs and diamonds, ace through king, assigning them N through Z, November through Zulu also respectively. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to look up either my plain text or ciphertext character. I'm going to find that card, so if I'm looking for a T, a plain text character T, I'm going to look for a 7 of clubs in my right pile. If I'm looking for a ciphertext H, then I'm going to be looking for an 8 of hearts in my left pile. Okay. So depending on if we're encrypting or decrypting will determine if we're looking for our character in the right or left piles. All right, set this down and we'll see if we can follow the steps. So the encryption and decryption algorithm comes in 2 phases. First, we are either locating the plain text character to find the ciphertext character in the other pile, or we're finding the ciphertext character to locate the plain text character in the right pile. After we've located our needed character, whether it be a ciphertext or plain text, we then go ahead and permute both piles. Okay, so there's an encryption step and then a permutation step, or a decryption step and then a permutation step. So in order to do this, I have the text do not use PC that we can use to encrypt. I want to encrypt this plain text message. So I'm going to look for the plain text D in my right pile. D, or delta, is the 4 of spades. So I'm going to look for the 4 of spades in this right pile. What I want to do is count as I'm looking for that card so I can identify its position in this pile. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look for the 4 of spades for D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 4 of spades is the 11th card in the plain text deck. Okay. So we've located that card. I'm going to stick it out here for a second, and we're going to count to the 11th card in the ciphertext. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is the 5 of hearts. The 5 of hearts is an E. So for this plain text character, I would write down E. Okay, I have located my plain text and ciphertext cards. I wrote down my ciphertext character. The next step is to permute both the left and right piles. So this is where we come to the permutation steps. So let's permute the left pile first. So we're going to cut the pile at the ciphertext card, so the ciphertext card becomes the new zenith. Remember, the zenith is the top of our circle. In our case, it'll be the top of our pile. So I'm going to cut the deck so my ciphertext card is at the top. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the zenith plus 1 card from the pile. So this is the zenith, this is the zenith plus 1, or the second card. I'm going to remove that from the pile, and I'm going to place that at the nadir of the pile. On our circle, the nadir is the bottom of the circle, but if you look at it, it's halfway around the circumference, right? It follows that diameter intersection. That means that it's going to be halfway through this deck. So the nadir is going to be the 14th position, okay? So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 cards in this hand. I'm going to place my removed card at the 14th position. Okay? I've now permuted the left pile. We're going to now permute the right pile. It is similar as permuting the left pile, but slightly different. So let's look through those steps. First, we'll cut the pile at the plain text card, so the plain text card becomes the new zenith. So we'll cut to our plain text card that we found and put that at the top. Then the second step is to move the card at the zenith to the back or the bottom of the pile. So I'm going to move my top card all the way to the bottom. Now I want to remove the zenith plus 2 card from the pile. Here's the zenith plus 1. Here is the zenith plus 2, or the third card. I remove that from the pile, and I insert that at the nadir. So this card also goes to that 14th location. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. My removed card goes into the 14th spot. Okay? And now I've permuted the right deck, and I'm ready to encrypt the second plaintext character. So let's go ahead and encrypt a few more. I'm going to go through the steps a little bit quickly, see if you can follow along, and then we'll look at the decryption steps with my decryption deck, which I have on standby right here. All right, so now we're going to encrypt the plaintext character O. Plaintext character O is the 2 of clubs. Want to find the 2 of clubs, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's at the 13th position. Okay. So we're going to count to 13 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is the 8 of diamonds. The 8 of diamonds is U. So we'll go ahead and write U for my ciphertext character. Now I want to permute the left pile, so I'm going to cut the pile at the ciphertext card, putting it at the zenith. I'll remove the zenith +1 from the pile and put it at the nadir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This gets put at the nadir of the pile, and the left pile has been permuted. We're going to do the same or similar with the right pile. Cut to the plaintext card, putting it at the zenith. Then move it to the bottom of the pile and remove the zenith +2 card. Put that at the nadir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Putting it at the 14th position. Now the right pile's been permuted. We're going to look for the ciphertext N, as in November. This is going to be the ace of clubs. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's at the 11th location. So we will find the 11th card in our left pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The King of Hearts. The King of Hearts is M, as in Mike. So we'll write down M, and then go ahead and permute the piles. Cut the ciphertext to the zenith, remove the zenith +1, insert it at the nadir. Okay, left pile is permuted. Let's permute the right pile. Move it to the bottom, remove the zenith +2, put that at the nadir. And we'll move to one more character, O. Plaintext O is the 2 of clubs. We count to that location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Count to 15 in my left pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 is the 9 of diamonds, which is V. Permute the left pile. Remove the zenith +1, insert at the nadir. Do the same or similar with the right pile. Cut to the zenith, put to the bottom, remove the zenith +2, insert at the nadir. Okay, so that is the process of the Chaocipher. I like this algorithm for doing things by hand because it feels a little bit more responsive. I can execute it a bit more quickly than some of the other playing card algorithms. Also, it seems to be a little bit less error prone than some of the others. With that said, you can easily miscount, and by doing so will cause you to make a mistake, and that mistake will get repeated throughout the remainder of your encryption or decryption, causing you to not either encrypt or decrypt the message successfully. So make sure you're careful when counting your cards. Let's go ahead and move then to the decryption phase and see if we can reverse this process. So I need to create my left and right piles. So I'll do that really quickly. Again, one card at a time for zero ambiguity. Never put down clumps of cards together. Always do them a card at a time. Okay, I have those successful. All right, now we're going to decrypt. The decrypt is pretty much the same as the encryption, except now we're going to look for the ciphertext character first in the red pile by counting, which will help us find the plaintext character in the right pile. So I'm going to look for my ciphertext E, which happens to be the 5 of hearts in my left pile. We'll count to that location and see if we can find the correct card in the right pile. So the 5 of hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's the 11th card. The 11th card in my right pile is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 4 of spades. The 4 of spades is a D, so I decrypted that correctly. Go ahead and permute the left and right piles. You'll notice that for the decryption phase, the permutation is the same regardless if you're encrypting or decrypting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I put that at the nadir. And we do a permutation with the right pile. Move that to the bottom. Find the zenith plus 2. Put that at the nadir. And now we're going to look for my ciphertext U, which is the 8 of diamonds. So we'll count to that location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's go ahead and find the 13th card here. The 2 of clubs. The 2 of clubs is an O, so we successfully decrypted that ciphertext character. Go ahead and permute the piles. You should be becoming an expert at this. Sorry for bumping the camera. I'm wrapping my arms around it. Okay. Let's find the ciphertext M, which is the King of Hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Find the 11th card here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The Ace of Clubs. Ace of Clubs happens to be an N. We permute my piles. And then we'll permute the right pile. And we'll do my last ciphertext character, V, which is the 9 of diamonds. Let's count to that location. It is the 15th location, so we'll count to 15 here. That is the 2 of clubs, which is an O. And then we go ahead and permute our piles. And I just made a mistake. There's no guarantee that. So you want to be careful. That's one of the errors, obviously, that you could make. These are plastic cards, so they have a slick feeling to them. And if you're not used to that, they can kind of fly out of your hands like you saw. So maybe it's a good idea that or a good thing that I'm not going any further. Okay, so that is the Chaocipher algorithm with playing cards. Again, I really like this algorithm. It has seen a decent amount of analysis. This is probably one of the few playing card ciphers that has, along with the solitaire cipher invented by Bruce Schneier. It does take some time to work through each character, as you saw. It might take a minute to even 2 minutes, depending on your speed. So, as with all playing card cipher algorithms, it's a bit slow, a little bit cumbersome, and it's error prone. So you want to keep your messages short and to the point. I would recommend keeping them at roughly the length of a tweet or shorter. So really no more than 140 or 150 characters. It will take you the better part of an hour or two to encrypt or decrypt a message of that length. So that's all that I have about the Chaocipher playing card algorithm. I'll put a link to the description on my wiki that gives you more details about how to key it with passphrases, random shuffles using bridge order, and also showing some links to chaocipher.com, some analysis, and there's even challenges. Moshe Rubin has put up some challenges, so if you understand the algorithm and you can execute it, he gives you some plain text and some ciphertext, and if you execute the algorithm correctly, you should arrive at the same conclusions that he does, the same ciphertext or the same plain text. So I would challenge you to work through those examples with playing cards and see if you can execute those correctly. He will give you the alphabet order, so he's just going to give you an order of alphabets for the right and left alphabets. So you will need to use this table to correctly put the cards in the right order in the right and left alphabets before you can move forward. Anyway, that is the Chaocipher encryption algorithm. Again, it's a strong encryption algorithm for hand ciphers, even by modern standards. There is no ciphertext only breaks on Chaocipher. There are some weaknesses to the algorithm, but so far it's withstood analysis. So this is something that you might want to give a shot. You could hide secrets from your friends or from your boss or from your neighbors. Maybe not from the NSA, maybe they might be able to break it. But if your adversary is not the NSA, but someone more of an everyday type person, this is a good algorithm to hold and hide secrets. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Thanks.